When we feel fear, if we really stop to think, we may realize that often we feel fear towards the idea of what would happen given a specific set of circumstances, which normally are challenging or undesirable or simply difficult. But there are other times that we feel great, and if we check to see what kind of thoughts we go through in our mind at that moment, we would find that we would be entertaining positive and wonderful thoughts or ideas. We would imagine what it would be like if we had the house, the job, the partner of our dreams. And as if with the magic of its own, we would drift and get lost in those beautiful, desirable thoughts in a daydreaming or zoned out state. We would imagine what steps to take, how we would deal with it, what we would need to do, how other people around us would be involved or participate in our dream vision. And we would make it more and more real as we went on, how much money we would need, what would the outcome be, and everything would seem so real, as if it was actually happening. But then we would open our eyes and come out of this dream-like state just to find that our reality is exactly like it was before. We might feel relieved, or we might feel disappointed. Either way, at that point, we have two options. We can either choose to think that it was a nice dream, but just that, or we could, rather than let it be, continue with our normal routine, ignoring and forgetting it. Our subconscious mind could be saying, this was a glimpse of your higher potential. This was a possibility of your bigger life. Go and develop it. And then we are in this struggle. Yeah, lovely thoughts, you ponder. But this sounds like a stretch. I am aware that I will only live this life once. I wouldn't even know how to start to achieve that dream. I'm not even sure if I believe that I can actually make it happen. We all have been there. But we always have the option to hear the call of that dream, and we could say to ourselves, that is not my reality now, but at some point I will make this happen. We would make a mental note of how we felt, and we would follow the steps to get closer to that mission. And we would make a plan, a strategy. For me, I can tell you that I always follow the second approach. I take note of the dream, leave it in the back of my mind, like a soft target that I will follow. I will not let go of it, slowly but persistently. Maybe not something that I will obsess about, but certainly something that I will point my life compass towards. And so, this ship of my life started about 24 years ago. I stepped onto the spiritual path, and I get closer and closer to the destination every day. But I've never given up. I have been making gradual, small changes that have now led me so much closer to my dream, to where I wanted to be. So far from where I started, it feels like a different life. So I feel that I have used my life so far to the best of my ability, and that I certainly have not wasted my time. If you are like me, you will find yourself at a certain point investigating aspects of this possible future scenario and make a draft of a plan and consider the possible resources that you need, time, scale. I make sure that I keep living my dream in my mind and in my real life so that it stays alive, and I keep maturing it with my thoughts. It is when we start asking questions such as, how would it feel working in that ideal job scenario? What would it be like to live in that dream house? What kind of family would I create with that perfect partner? That we align ourselves with the synchronicities that will definitely bring that dream closer to us. Unfortunately, many people drop their dreams because they don't see how they can get from where they are now to the place they dream about. But we construct our destiny one step at a time. I decided to dedicate at least a small portion of my daily routine to feed my dream-like scenario. I don't know whether it will unravel it completely, but what I do know is that I zigzag around situations and experiences that I would have never imagined possible. And so, I believe fully that the universe always heeds our requests, and that if we consistently give the energy of our thoughts to a particular thing, good or bad, at some point in the future, it will realize or become manifested or real. We all know what it is that we enjoy doing. Whenever there is a field of interest that motivates and mobilizes us, there is a path where our soul is calling us. The reason is that there is something for us to achieve, a highest potential or deepest passion. That very same thing which we came here to do, the development of our gifts that should be used to heal the earth and humanity. Sometimes we can only apply a little bit of effort. Sometimes we excuse ourselves, pointing out the reasons why we cannot do it. But the fact is that we need to know that when we are given a dream, it is possible for us to create it because it already exists at an energetic level, waiting for us, and that we need to spend some regular time and energy attracting it into our reality. We need to do it in any way or fashion. A little bit of it, a lot of it, any of it. And why? Because once you dedicate any of your resources to your dream, the path opens slowly but surely. One thing leads to the next. One person, one coincidence or synchronicity or piece of information, it makes it expand. And before we realize, we are so much closer to it than we ever imagined. Some of us even achieve it. For some, our dream becomes our life, our job, our livelihood. And suddenly, we feel that life becomes really worth living. There are always ways to join others with the same interests. An already existing group or a new group that you decide to form with which to share experiences. A regular meeting with friends or your coffee breaks at work. It doesn't matter how or when. When you are ready to give the first step, the universe will show you what to do next. Hidden thoughts and fears block our conscious mind. When we think we want something, we may be contradicting ourselves in words and actions. And when we give the universe contradictory messages, we become stuck. To clear this stagnation, we need to clarify all the subliminal messages that we may not realize we are sending out. I utilize meditation techniques, mind control techniques, self-hypnotism, wherever is necessary. I also use affirmations, visualizations, simple breathing techniques to slow down your brain waves and to get yourself into an optimum asking and receiving mode. Let's say that you want to receive money, but deep inside you feel that you have to work hard to get it. What will the universe do? Withhold all outcomes because there is not a clear request. The universe will wait for you to work hard and then deliver some money that what you feel is justified or that you deserve. Or let's say that you have a job of your dreams. For instance, working with animals. But deep inside, you think, this job will not bring me enough money or status. Or perhaps in my upbringing, it told you to stay focused and not to daydream. Or perhaps your upbringing told you to stay focused and not to daydream. So you don't really get yourself to materialize that job that means so much to you and that you so much desire. Or let's say that you want to write a book, but you feel that it will really be of no interest to anyone, that nobody will ever read it. Then you may block the flow of the content of the book as you convince yourself that you may not even really be a good writer to begin with. And back and forth, here we go, contradicting our inner prompts, those innuendos that come from our soul, leading us to the path of our real desires, by which we keep blocking one way or another with limiting beliefs and distorted perceptions of how it really works. Really, we fail before we even start. And our negative thinking sabotages us at every step. Our conscious mind tries to make sense of all of this. We feel stuck and we don't really understand specifically what makes us stuck. We find it difficult to dissolve the block, and usually people will either give up altogether or decide on disempowering thought patterns such as, it is someone else's fault, it is society's fault, the market is crowded, the competition is fierce. All these excuses go against the reality that you were born for a reason and therefore there is a place for you in the present set of circumstances. You just have to find it, make room for it, and give yourself the permission to own it.